Listen, you can have the best track with beautiful melodies and arrangement that flows perfectly. But if the kick of your track sucks, the whole track falls apart. It's like building a house without the foundations. No matter how nice the wallpaper is, it's going to fall apart. So just listen to this track. And now listen to the same track, but with a different kick. You can instantly tell which track sounds professional and which one kind of sucks. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I know if the kick in my track is actually good or bad? Well, that is a great question. But before I answer that, if you don't know who I am, my name is Anna L, and I've been producing for over 10 years. And my goal isn't to be a touring DJ, but to help other producers achieve their goals. Take Jen Markov, for example. He was overwhelmed with endless tutorials and had way too many plugins. But after joining Start to Finish, he finished 3 tracks in less than 3 weeks. Or Tobias, who's been producing for about 4 years, but only now after joining my program, he's finally finishing tracks consistently. And then there is Bruno and Adam, who went on to release the music on their favorite record labels and even play festivals and clubs in the US and UK. And I made this track with Bruno. So if you ever thought to yourself, well, am I the only one stuck in this loop? Well, you're not alone. And my goal is to give you clarity and structure so you can keep moving forward. So, how do you actually choose the perfect kick for your track? First, you need to understand what are the different components that make a kick drum. And second, you need to understand that any given kick can be good or bad, depending on the context, which is the vibe and genre of your track, and also the relationship of the kick and bass. Make sure to watch the video all the way to the end so you find out more about that specifically. So every kick drum has 3 main parts: the click, the body, and the tail. So I have here a bunch of kicks, which by the way you can download for free below this video so you can follow along. And I'm going to split them into the 3 different components. As you can see, I already put them in a group and I'm going to copy them into the 3 channels, which is the tail, which is the sub, the body, and the click, which is the transient. So it's really simple. So let's grab an EQ. We will make a high cut on a 30 dB per octave, and we will make that cut around 100 Hz. Don't be too precise about it, it doesn't matter. So this is our sub. Let's copy the EQ to the second channel, and we will change this from a high cut to a low cut, and we will make another high cut on 30 dB per octave, and we will drag this down to around 2000 Hz. This is the body. Let's drag this EQ onto the third channel, and we will take this high cut and turn it into a low cut, so now we have the click. Then I will highlight all 3 channels and I will bounce them in place. So now, if I zoom in into this part, this is our tail. This is what you feel in your chest when you're in the club. This is the body. This is what gives the kick its weight. And this is the click. This is what giving the kick its energy and character. Now, let's say you have a kick in your track which you're not happy with. You can split it into its 3 parts and then ask yourself, which part of my kick doesn't work? Is my kick muddy because of the body? Or is it too clicky because of the transient? Or do I actually need to layer samples on top? Or can I just fix what I already have? Once you understand this, you will stop wasting hours scrolling through samples because you will know exactly how to shape any kick to fit your track. Now, modifying kicks in audio like this, it's the longer way of doing it, but it does make it really easy to understand. So later in the video, I will also show you a way where you can modify your kicks in a matter of seconds without fiddling with different layers. And here where it gets really powerful. You don't need to throw away every sample that doesn't fit your track perfectly. I can actually take this kick and mute the click. And let's try to find a different click. Let's put this here for now. How about this one from the other kick? Now this kick has a completely different character. How about we go to a side trance kick? Let's say that I'm not really happy with the body of it. I can actually drop an EQ and try to find the muddy frequencies and get rid of them. Like this one. Or this. Let's play it together. Before and after. We got rid of a little bit mud. Or we can just replace the body of this kick for a completely different character. So let's take this sideways and let's try to put this, for example. I'm just experimenting. Now this kick sounds completely different. So suddenly, instead of thinking, oh, why doesn't the kick never fix, you will know exactly what to change. But if your goal is to finish high quality tracks quickly, then you need a much quicker way of doing that. So let me show you how it can be done with a tool called Kick Ninja. This is a kick synthesizer, but it is really good for modifying existing kicks, or if you want to replicate any kick, this tool is going to do it. So actually, I'm going to try to replicate the kick that I already made for this track. So when I worked with Bruno on this track, it came with this kick. Kick sounds a little bit dirty and I didn't really like the vibe of it. I wanted something that sounds clean and punchy so it fits with the bass note a bit better. More on that later. So you can take any kick and drop it into the oscillator. Make sure that you click import. So the cool thing about this plugin is that when you load any kick, by default, on the oscillator, it's filtering anything above 600 Hz. So you're only left with the body and tail of the kick. And then on sampler 1, you have the character of the kick. So you can actually see both layers on the screen here. So what I will do is, I'm going to take a different kick with transient I like much better, which is this one. And the first thing that I can do, I will shape the amp. So I will add another note by double clicking. And now I got rid of the body of the kick and I left it with a transient alone. Few more cool things that this plugin can do is I can actually change the amp. So for example, if I think this kick is too powerful, I can actually do something like this and make the tail a little bit less louder. I can even make this kick much shorter or much longer. I can even change the pitch envelope if I feel that this kick doesn't actually fit the pitch of my track. But usually I wouldn't really bother about that because a kick is a sine wave that's just pitching up all the way down. So it's not really just one tone anyway. But remember that a good kick isn't just about being clean, dirty, long or short. It's about how it works with your bass. The relationship between the kick and the bass is what separates a professional track from an amateur one. Like in the example from the beginning of this video. So if you feel that your track sounds kind of flat or unfinished, that can be one of the reasons. And if you want a full system that will take you from an empty project to a release-ready track in just 14 days, make sure to check the link below. That's where I go with my students step by step through the entire process of finishing tracks consistently. Now, if you find this video helpful, the next step is to nail the kick and bass relationship. So make sure to watch this video where I will walk you through exactly how to make the kick and bass work together to make your track sound professional. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.